Let's talk about what happens when the life you so carefully built begins to break apart. Not with some big explosion, but in the quietest, most unexpected way. Yeah, you just don't expect it to happen quietly. There's no loud crash, no dramatic collapse. It's just a slow, silent break. And that is exactly where we meet Emily Carter. You see, for Emily, life was predictable, in that comfortable way you can really learn to trust. She and her husband had this gentle rhythm going in their small Midwestern town: work, family calls, church on Sundays. Her faith wasn't this big, loud thing. It was just there, a sincere, quiet trust that life would unfold the way it was meant to. And then came the year that changed absolutely everything. It all started with so much hope. When Emily first found out she was pregnant, the joy was just immediate, effortless. The future she had always imagined suddenly felt like it was right there, within her grasp. But just shy of 3 months, all of that hope just unraveled. The pregnancy ended, quietly and painfully. Later that same year, hope returned, only to be shattered again in December. Same timing, same signs, this same heartbreaking ending. 2 losses in a single year. It was this crushing, silent cycle of grief.
And that second loss, man, it just hit differently. This time, the grief wasn't alone. It brought fear along with it. A deep fear that her body was failing her, and worse, this sinking feeling that she was being left behind spiritually, while everyone else seemed to be sharing stories of joy.
So this one question just started playing on a relentless loop in her mind. It was a quiet question, but it was absolutely deafening. She just found herself asking it over and over and over again, with no answer in sight. And then, underneath that question, something even deeper and more terrifying started to bubble up. It was one of those thoughts you try so hard to push away, but you just can't. What if this pattern of loss, what if it wasn't just a chapter? What if this was her story? Even as prayers started to feel really complicated, she didn't just walk away from her faith. She stayed connected, partly out of habit, sure, but also because, well, where else was she going to turn? And it was right there, in that quiet, uncertain space, that an inner urgency began to stir. Then one night, something literally stirred her awake. It wasn't some booming voice or a dramatic vision. It was just a simple, powerful inner feeling she could not ignore. And it came down to 2 words that would change her entire perspective. Pay attention. And she did. She listened. She heard a message about mercy in the face of repeated loss, and it felt like it was speaking directly to her. She began to pray with a totally new urgency, thanking God, not because her circumstances had changed, but because something inside of her had. She made a commitment to just stay present, right there in the moment, even with all the fear. Well, not long after this shift, Emily realized her cycle hadn't come back. When she finally went in for a scan, her heart was just pounding out of her chest. She was pregnant again. But this time, joy wasn't the first thing to show up. Vigilance was. As the pregnancy went on, new and frankly terrifying concerns started to emerge. Medical tests were pointing to potential risks, serious genetic conditions. Doctors started recommending invasive procedures, forcing Emily to face these heavy, heavy decisions that no parent ever wants to make. Just completely overwhelmed, Emily went home. And that night, her prayers shifted in a profound way. She just stopped asking why. She stopped demanding explanations. Instead, she simply laid the entire situation before God and surrendered the outcome. And you know what? A strange and completely unexpected peace came over her. But the waiting wasn't over. There were more tests, more scans, and finally a call was scheduled to deliver the results. So there she was, Emily, sitting all alone, her phone nearby, her heart absolutely racing. Every little sound in that quiet room felt like it was amplified. She was right on the edge of something totally beyond her control, and she just knew that the voice on the other end of that line was about to change her life forever. So the question is, what was that voice going to say? Well, the full story continues, and you can find out what happened. It's in the description or the first comment. Just click the link and read what happened next. This has been a story from the Renewal Project. We tell true life stories of faith, testimonies, and divine transformation. Make sure you like and follow for more.